Healing What Has Been Broken by Harish 6. Fate created and formed them to keep the balance in the beginning. After Undertale was created all alone and empty, sitting in his place in this multiverse, Fate created Ink Sans, the one who became the creator of all the other AUs. As he was created, Fate whispered the words of his fate, of his job, to create more universes and to keep them safe. But there was only so much room, so he had to make them last. Make sure that the universes never touched another, or else they would destroy one another. But there was a problem. Ink did not hear the words of Fate, did not know of his job and duty to his multiverse. All Ink knew was that he had the power to create, something he loved doing more than ever. He felt so lonely that he never really stopped creating more and more. He created so much, never stopping, and although he loved each one like his children, Ink never stopped to think if he create too much or what would happen if there was too much AUs. Fate could not let this go on, as it soon looked like the AUs would touch and crumble, or worse, the original universe would soon be lost and destroying everything else with it. So error was formed, not created. Fate preferred Ink. He was her favorite and true first child, but Fate knew that creating another being like Fate did with Ink would lead to more problems than solutions. And although Fate loved Ink, Fate knew that the fate of their multiverse was more important than all living's creations. So Fate picked a Sans and dragged him into the anti-void. This Sans had no idea what was happening as he was torn from his home, only could watch as everything he loved and wanted was ripped from his hands and erased. He tried everything to get out of the anti-void, running, walking, teleportation, using his gaster blasters, and finally calling out for help. But as he cried, he knew no one would save him. He screamed until the screams started to scream back. Fate screamed with the other voices, whispering to nothing for Ink as he was created, as he never heard her words, so screaming had to work. Fate could not let this one do what he wanted like Fate let, and continued to let Ink do. This one could not run free. Fate screamed about his fate, his job. He was to destroy so that the others could grow, destroy so that there was room. Fate never stopped screaming at him. The voices never stopped screaming at him, so he would not get out of line. Soon Sans changed. His bones turned darker, his tears staining his face to show his eternal cries never stopped. He became corrupted. Soon he became nothing but a glitch in the system, nothing but an error. Error felt so angry, so hateful of what Fate had done to him, even as his memories started to leave him. He forgot what it was like to eat, forgot what his brother looked like. He forgot how to love and be loved in return. The anti-void and Fate made sure of that. For a time, Error tried to destroy the whole multiverse. He wanted nothing more than to get back at what Ink and Fate had done to him. Ink just screamed and hated him as he continued to create. Error thought Ink knew what his job was, so why was he doing this? To torture Error into killing more lives and adding to the screams? But soon that fire left Error, left his soul as the cold feeling settled in. He did his job because if he didn't, everything would be gone. But he resented that Ink could do what he wanted. Fate would always favor its first child. Things started to get worse for Error. The beatings, being left for dead, was the last thing on the list that made Error snap. If they didn't want him, he didn't want balance and change, then he would give them what they wished. Fate was going to learn that Error could not be chained and would get the last laugh for all Fate had done to him. But while fate did not favor error, destiny did. Destiny saw how much Error struggled, how much he was in pain, how much he wanted to stop but couldn't, as he did not want his multiverse to be gone. Destiny watched as ink went through with no limitations while Error was drowning in them. Fate watched as Error finally took his fate in his hands and went to change it as one does with Destiny. Destiny watched as Error fell down laughing at finally getting what he wanted and one-upping fate. But Destiny favored Error like fate favored ink, and while fate will let ink win and do as he wanted as his fate, Destiny will lead Error to his new destiny, as his actions has changed how his life would go. When Error made that life-ending choice, he changed his destiny. With that, Destiny could finally act when it couldn't before. Destiny would lead Error to love and healing. To Multiverse had no need for creation and destruction for balance. Fate had chosen ink as their favorite, letting them almost destroying everything. So Destiny would pick their favorite over the lives of their multiverse. When Error landed in this new multiverse, Fate's screams could not reach him anymore. All he could hear before it went black was Destiny's loving whispers and embrace. For the first time that he could remember, Error felt safe. But healing is a long and rocky road, set and loaded with setbacks and just as much hurt. And by the time Fate noticed something was wrong, it will be too late. Destiny will fight for his first chosen child.